Hello guys, welcome to the development of Series 2 with commentators Guitargameguy and Super Scourge 300.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you all enjoyed the first Series 1 episode, but now I'm going to talk about the origins of Series 2, how it came into play. Basically, after Series 1 ended, I kind of patted myself on the back, and patted Justin and Manny on the back. I was like, good job, guys, we did alright. Let's make some more shit together. But months were passing, and I was getting endless messages from maybe thousands of people. You need to make a sequel, Series 2, Series 2. And then always people, all after that, were just sending me messages of what it should be called. And I'm like, first of all, people, I haven't said that I'd be okay with making a Series 2. And then they just started giving me names for it. So I finally made a video saying, I'd love to make a Series 2, but how is that going to be possible because New York City got destroyed by a nuke? It had to take place because even if it was 2 years later, only less than half of the city would be rebuilt. To build New York City back, that would take 20 years. Are you kidding me? So, this is where Colin comes into play.
Yes. At the time, so many months after, as you can tell, Josh was faced with the problem of how to continue the story. Now, I'm not sure if many people know this, but I was simply a fan, just a mere fan, one of the many thousand watchers of Zombie Attack series. I first discovered it in a similar fashion. I think me and my friends were thinking of doing a similar GTA zombie-related video, and I was simply researching online to see if anyone else had done anything similar, and this is when I stumbled across the Zombie Attack series. And from there I kind of said, okay, screw our idea, this is where it's at. So I focused a lot on this and really got involved in Series 1. I was kind of disappointed that I couldn't have caught the series when it first came out, but I managed to catch up pretty good anyway. And once I got to episode 10, I realized that was the ending, and I saw a little annotation saying, about maybe not. I started thinking to myself how possibly the series could continue, and this is where me and Josh first actually met and came into play, and working together. I sent him a simple PM out of many other thousands of PMs that he received. I didn't actually think at the time that he would respond to me, because I thought he probably had a full inbox and mine would just be one of the many in there. But I tried to keep the message very polite, very straight to the point, as I did with some of my comments on the videos, on Series 1 videos related to the story and where it's set. I kept it very straight to the point. I simply threw out an idea of how Series 2 could possibly take place involving a gene bomb. And for those of you, again, who don't know, the concept of a gene bomb may be a strange one to you, but for me, I actually, at the time, and this is quite a funny thing about this, I'm not sure if Josh even knows this, but I actually came up with the concept of the gene bomb based off of, at the time, Sonic the Hedgehog comics I was reading. There was a weapon in it used very similarly called a gene bomb, and it works a different way, but I kind of changed the concept of it into the sense that it's kind of like a nuke. It works in the same way, it's deployed in the same way, but completely and destroying everything within a 70-mile radius. It creates a blast wave of bioengineered radiation that seeks out only organic material, so trees, leaves, grass, and obviously organic tissue, so they were all completely wiped out, but buildings and anything like that, so the city itself remained preserved perfectly, but it was completely purged of all life. And yes, I think Josh started making Series 2 Episode 1, and I was really shocked that he actually took my idea on, and I thought, at the time, I thought that would be the end of it. I continued the series, and that would be the most I would ever be involved in. I was really pleased with myself that my idea even made it into the series, and I was happy to see it continuing. But I think later episodes came on, I actually received a really stunning email, actually, from Guitargameguy at the time. One that I never thought I would get, about me possibly playing a role in the Attack Series 2, which was to my great amazement, the role of a character we all know as Carter, who he said would come into play mostly in episode 6. And I started to notice throughout series 2 that Carter was mentioned at different points throughout the series. He's actually one of the main plot points in the show, besides finding out who's started the infection again. So I was really pleased, and I was really, really nervous for Series 6 around. I was excited and nervous because though I have had acting experience in the past, I thought this may be the time when I have to kind of put it into play the most. And that's why, if I'm perfectly honest, in Series 2, Episode 6, I don't actually believe that my acting was quite up to snuff. I actually find it quite difficult to watch Series 2, Episode 6 and hear myself in that episode. I find my acting very poor compared to some of my later ones. But,
Well, you certainly did better than a lot of other people, I can tell you that.
when I was, I remember when we did episode 6, one of your first comments was when I got in the game and when we all got into the four-door car together to go to the location to film. One of your first comments that the scene reminded you of Left 4 Dead because it's 4 survivors.
Yeah.
which was pretty funny.
But basically, the actual first time me and Colin ever actually communicated, and I never even realized it was the same guy that had this Gene Bomb idea until like months later, to be honest with you. But basically, in Series 1, Episode 5, he asks if this series takes place in New York City or Liberty City, because he's like, you said that this is all in New York City, but the game's in Liberty City. Could you explain? So I replied to his comment telling him that this is all in New York, that way it's more realistic. He's like, oh, okay, that works. So, yeah, he sends me this Gene Bomb idea, and I basically found his message because it was actually the last one sent to me before I went to bed one night. And I'm usually up on my computer pretty late on YouTube seeing how things are going before I go to sleep. And his was like the last one sent. And the reason that he was able to send that to me, how I was able to see his message, is because since Colin actually lives in a whole different country than I do, and you know, he is hours and hours and hours and hours and hours ahead of me. So where it was real late for my time, it was actually like where he just woke up, I guess, and then he sent me that message. So I was able to read that right before I got to bed, and I replied to that. I'm like, holy shit, that is genius. So I started making a trailer for Series 2, and people were like, holy crap, it's really happening, ah! And basically, to be honest, I don't think I gave Colin enough credit, but to kind of make that up, I kind of decided, you know, I'll put him in the series, because I started asking him, you know, do you have experience, could you help us out, stuff like that. So, as this was going on, I figured that Series 2 is coming around, we're going to need at least another character. So, I put that into play, and I really wanted to make Series 2 like a big kind of like investigation kind of thing. And a lot of people also wanted Series 2 to be more action-oriented than the first series, because the first series, a lot of it was simply just Josh, Manny, and Justin, you know, just cracking jokes at each other and killing some zombies here and there. But there really wasn't that much fighting, you know, just by a couple episodes, like Episode 5, Episode 10, etc. So I wanted to make Series 2 more action-oriented, and I simply did this as an experiment to see what people thought of it. But if you ask me, go on. Well, alright, I guess I am. If you think about it, the first episode of Series 2 doesn't have that much action in it. A lot of it was just chasing that one zombie that we found, and he actually talked, which surprised all of us. But what surprised us first of all was, hey, this guy's running away from us. What the fuck? They always run toward us. So we go after him to see what the hell's going on. We capture him. I got a shit ton of messages of people, from just new viewers of this series bashing me at it, like, you can't chase a zombie around like that. Zombies are supposed to chase you. You can't interrogate a zombie. What the fuck is this? I'm like, people, it's part of the story, for fuck's sakes. So, around episode 2 is actually where, Carter comes into play. But definitely this time around, it was a lot more action-oriented, which isn't really, like, a bad thing if you ask me, but, like, it did take up a lot of these episodes, which, I think, if you ask me, this is just my personal opinion, for being the director of it. I personally think it could have been done a little bit better, simply because, there really wasn't too much story to this. It was, the first half of this series 2 was, let's find Carter. Second half was, who started this infection. So, there wasn't a whole lot of a plot. You know what I mean? So, but people still liked a lot of the action.
You did get quite into the habit from Series 2 of including moments in the series from the trailer of the actual series. A lot of the Series 2 trailer is leading up to what you will see in Series 2, which was very cleverly done.
Yeah, I think that, I think the only part that I missed out on was, in the Series 2 trailer. No, actually, no, I included everything. What the fuck am I talking about? Because I'm trying to think of it, but no, I included everything that was in the trailer, and I tried doing that for the Series 3 trailer and everything. So, I can't believe I forgot to mention this in the last video, but between episodes 5 and 6, I made that trailer to show everyone that I was, don't worry, we're continuing it, just give us time. So, alright, now that I've explained that, going back to Series 2, episode 2 was mainly about, going to the hospital, and then Manny hacks his computer to figure out, any kind of information. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there's more of an explanation than that, believe me. But he does figure out that there's some sort of information in there about a guy named Carter, and Josh immediately already knows who that is. So, when episode 3 comes around, and they're all asking Josh, like, okay, who is this guy? You need to tell us who he is. So Josh starts explaining it. They have a flashback of who he is and how they got separated and everything like that. And Josh says that he's like his brother, So they need to figure out where he is, because not only could he help us out, but he could have a lot of information about the infection we might need. Now, this is something that is pretty interesting if you ask me. In Series 1, if you notice, a lot of the title screens that had a black background that were kind of glitchy, and then the titles were white font. Series 2 is like the exact opposite. It's a white background, still glitchy, but has black font. In Series 3, it has a lot more effects because I had a lot more editing skills, so all that was red font with fire and everything. What?
As well as a badass Zombie Attack series remix.
Yeah, Colin created the remix for the Series 3, which I really liked that he did that, because after a while, the intro song I kept using got copyrighted for some retarded fucking reason, so I couldn't use it anymore. But Colin made the remix of it, which worked, and it's not copyrighted, so really like that. Episode 4, there wasn't a whole lot. What?
Before we continue to episode 4, I think it's worth mentioning, a lot of people may have noticed in episode 3 of series 2, that people may notice that Carter's player model, or what would later be me playing Carter, in that episode during the flashback, that was actually playing or voicing Carter. That was, who was that actually? I can't remember.
That was Justin, actually.
Yeah, he was standing in for me. I think that was due to, it was kind of time constraints. You threw that in as a last-second thing. It would have been very difficult to get me online. Just
the flashback was actually the last thing we filmed that day, and me and Justin were online at like midnight or like 1 in the morning, I think. So there was no way you would have been online at that point. I don't even think I sent you a message because I knew it would be pointless anyway. And I'm like, hey, could you help us out real quick? So, and then again, I know a lot of you are probably just like, why don't you just put, Colin's voice in? Well, still, even though this is the sequel to the first series and I do have some editing skills, I didn't have that much. Like, I wasn't that good. And plus, the software I was using did have its limits. Like, I don't know if you know this, Colin, and this is a big pain in the ass. But basically, in the editing program I have, you only have 2 tracks you can use. A video track and an audio track. You can't add more. So, if you want to add music, you have to render the entire video, import that whole thing back in with that video you have, and then put music on it. So if I wanted to put Colin's voice in it, not only would I have to put his voiceover after rendering it for the first time, then I would have to put music over it again. And every single time, since, these videos are fairly long, like at least 15 minutes, that would take like a couple hours each. That's not happening, guys. So that was a last minute thing. People were okay with that. This is series 2. There are going to be some mistakes here and there, some things that I forget to edit out. Something I didn't really like that I did, which I wish I could fix now, but I can't because it's kind of set and done with. I can't really go back and change it. Are the lack of the number of songs used. Because mostly in every episode, just one song is used for all the fighting. It's not really a bad thing, it's just, I wish, I could have used more. I guess I just really liked how I was sticking to, using songs that weren't copyrighted, which now really doesn't matter because they got copyrighted anyway, so I had to put them on my second channel, but whatever. So, we find Carter's phone in the park where he left it in episode 4. Really not much else to say about that one. Episode 5, I've always wanted to film in that Chinese place, that Chinese restaurant place. So I basically said, let's let's say, hey, Carter's dad worked there. But before that, we found Carter's apartment. Now I should mention, episode 5 was actually the first episode I filmed where I got my capture card. If you guys notice, I don't know if you do, but around Christmas, I think, of 2011, I got my capture card. My friend bought me it, and then I later figured out how to put commentary into it, but it was still kind of a pain in the ass to do that, which is why the quality isn't as good as it is now, because I've learned from my mistakes, so that happens. So episode 5 was the first episode I filmed with my capture card, and it was really awesome. Were you going to add something, Colin?
Yeah, I was going to say that I think a lot of people will agree that the cars driving indoors and some of the explosions were, I can imagine, weren't planned, but worked out very well in the contents of the episode.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, there were, we were all just really having fun filming it. I'm sure Colin was keeping up with Series 2. He was really enjoying it so far. Right? At least I think you were.
I was completely enjoying Series 2, and at the same time I was completely shitting my pants over the fact that I'm going to be acting in the next episode.
Oh. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, finally episode 6 comes around where Colin comes in. I really wanted to make, his first appearance in this series really badass. So, it's kind of hard to hear us during this part, which kind of pisses me off because not like now where I can actually increase the volume of people's voices, but you can't really hear them that well. I really wanted to express the fact that Josh is like, oh shit, this might be it, we're all gonna die. Because ambulance that we use, because if you guys don't know, from Series 1, whenever there be an ambulance around, we just say, oh, that's just a lot of zombies in there. So, there's a lot of zombies in that ambulance, and they use the ambulance because since an ambulance has sirens, they can just turn those on and allow more zombies to come around and help them out. So, because zombies do have pretty high sensitivity in terms of hearing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, if you ask me, the intro for episode 6 is pretty badass. When Justin blows up the gas station and has, GTA 4, Zombie Tech Series 2, and all that good stuff. So, a lot of the episode again. What?
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite intros besides one in Series 3, which we'll get to later.
Oh, okay. In the next video.
I was going to mention when Series. What am I saying? Episode 6. I was about to say Series 6. What the fuck?
Whoa!
Episode 6 rolled. When episode 6 rolled around, I cannot begin to tell you how many times I sat down and because we use scripts in order to go through the lines to get the right. I can't begin to tell you how many times I went through the episode 6 script just saying the lines out loud in order to get them just right.
As opposed to other people that were like, what the hell am I doing? I wanted to make the appearance of Carter really badass, so when he finally gets into the series, I wanted to say he needs to have some kind of theme song, so I put Here Comes the King by X-Ray Dog into that episode, and when Colin watched it, he just jizzed, basically, when he heard it, and he loved it. That was basically his theme song. But I think we did a really good job with episode 6. Colin really enjoyed filming it, and I really liked how we finally got another new character, and everybody liked this new character. That's why I was really looking forward to episode 7. And episode 7 actually is one of my most favorites out of Series 2, simply because it has more of a story in it, where we go to Nathan's house, and they find that email telling all zombies to gather at the museum. But at the same time, oh shit. Oh fuck. Memories are starting to go through me like a meat grinder. Okay. You people have no idea what I'm laughing at. You're like, is this guy insane? Okay. I'll just try to explain this. Even though episode 7 probably looks good, the final project looks good, the actual filming of it, I cannot tell you how much of a fucking pain in the ass it was to film this thing. Colin, what went wrong, first of all?
I don't know, everything.
No, I mean, what happened first? Like, I'm trying to remember what happened first. Like, it was just an eventful thing of just a bunch of shit happening.
Well, it started off great because it was with Carter's apartment scene and everything fine. I was working on time constraints because I had to leave before midnight, which is my time, but you guys had less time, so we were kind of rushing things a bit. Everything was fine up until, I think, the dreaded bridge scene of Doom. Before the bridge fight scene, before we crash into the... Let's just say all hell broke loose and, the devil himself rose from the bowels of the earth and just destroyed us.
Okay, let me just explain to these people what happened so they stop thinking me and you are just like, what the hell are these weirdos talking about? Basically, all 4 of us, we were in the apartment together. We got to Nathan's house. All of those scenes were filmed just fine. We got through all of those just fine. The second after we finished filming the Nathan's house scene, after I ended the recording of it, Justin randomly got logged off because I think one of his parents disconnected his internet. He just randomly left, and it pissed us off. So we had to find a replacement for him. So we actually have Brandon, who was going to be a zombie, play as Justin, but we were waiting for him to get connected. But at the same time, the people that were playing as the zombies, we didn't know any of these people. These were some people I think Brandon found, some people I think Justin found that they invited. Basically, the entire time, these people were like messing around, killing each other. They weren't helping us out. They were just, fucking around and everything. So we were just like telling them to cooperate. We were getting pissed off. We had to like kick people, invite other people to help out, like over and over and over again. So the part after the house, or after the bridge, that right there took almost an hour just to start the next part of the filming. Almost an hour. So this was just waiting for people to fucking cooperate. An hour, and they were still fucking around. They were still fucking around.
With the bridge scene, is that many GTA players know the bridge itself is not a spawnable area. So when we were killing zombies, they were respawning on the island and having to run back of the bridge on foot just so we could kill them.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that made them cooperate even less. During this scene, and you guys don't see this, Colin knows what I'm talking about because he's giggling right now like an asshole. But basically, one of the people we didn't know in the game, this kid was probably like, what, 4 years old? I think he invited his dad that was like 40-something. He joins the game. He takes one of the helicopters in the city, goes around and starts killing all of us over and over and over again. And he squashes me on top of the bridge once, and I scream at him. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? We're fucking filming, you idiot!" So he's killing all of us. All of a sudden, the zombies start shooting us when I told them not to. So we had to kick all of these people. And basically, with the short amount of people that we had, we said, okay, we need to find a way where we still need to make it seem like there's all 4 of us fighting all these zombies. Colin had an idea that I said that probably won't work out too well. So I basically said, just putting editing into consideration, I said, let's have some of you just be zombies and we'll fight you, and we'll make it seem like that, all 4 people were fighting. And the way I edited it was really, really well. So, and also keep in mind that the boat scene that we chase after that zombie after that, and where the helicopters find us after that, that was all just the same, all the friends that I was friends with, the handful of people that were there that I actually knew really well. All of that was just us. There wasn't any other people helping out. And it was extremely difficult to film. We were up maybe all night doing it. I felt horrible for Colin because he pretty much got no sleep. So
it's quite it's pretty funny. It's when episode 7 started, what began with us acting that we're fighting for our lives actually became we are literally fighting for our lives in the game against a bunch of asshole players that we ended up kicking. And from there, it was, like Josh said, just a handful of us. I'm sure not many people know that the series, I keep saying series, the episode 7 finale, which is on the rooftop when Justin pretty much bails off the roof, the zombie which runs towards Josh in that scene as he's shouting, "You bastard, you fucking bet," that scene, that zombie is actually me, just left the game to come back as a zombie just to make it easier for everyone.
But definitely the most complaint I got about this episode was, why does Josh keep driving on the opposite end of the road? I don't know why I did that, it just kind of happened, but people just kept trolling about it, which got really irritating. So moving on to episode 8, wasn't a whole lot to say about episode 8. A lot of it was just us fighting zombies, really. But surprisingly, it was super easy to film because the people we got were people we knew, and we just got through it all really quickly. So really not a whole lot to say about it because it was just me trying to find Carter and all the other survivors, and I only found it at Carter and Justin, and then Carter mentions how he saw Manny being taken to a boat. So, moving on.
The episode itself, for me, it was very reminiscent of Series 1, Episode 9, in the sense that it gives the viewer quite a good idea of what it's like if Josh was on his own. It was very depressing, actually.
It wasn't, yeah, he was pretty sad. Anyway.
One as well, earlier on I mentioned that one of my title scripts in Zombie Attack series is the one where Josh walks away as a grenade explodes in the background. That's probably my favourite.
That's your favorite intro?
Yeah.
Out of the all the episodes, or just Series 2?
I think I'll probably say just Series 2, because for me, that was the best one in Series 2. I don't know, something about it was perfect.
Oh, yeah. That actually took me about... Remember how it took me about, like, 10 minutes, and I did that, like, more than once? Because I think I killed myself once doing that, and then after that, they just weren't in the right spot, and I'm like, get in the right spot, damn it! So, other than that, not a whole lot to say about Episode 8, but it was actually pretty fun to film. Episode 9 was also fun to film because of the fact that we got to use that big boat. I said the only way we can get there is by boat, and I said this in the comments, a lot of people already know this, but basically I was trying to upload it, and YouTube was basically telling me to go fuck myself because it kept muting the damn audio. And I kept, changing the song, because I kept changing and changing and changing the songs, and YouTube just still kept muting the audio. I'm like, what the fuck? So I realized, it's probably because the very first song that I'm using in the intro, that's the whole reason they're muting the entire thing. So I had to just mute the intro. The rest of it you can hear just fine. So that's kind of why that happened. Episode 9 was actually kind of a challenge because, first of all, during that stealth scene, if you ask me, that wasn't filmed that well, even though it was a good idea. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, primarily that was my fault, if I'm honest, because I was lagging quite bad.
Well, yeah. You can't blame him, though, because he lives pretty far away. But, it was really, it was actually pretty fun to film Episode 9. Not just because we got to use the boat, because during on the boat, I tried to express more of the story, and, when we were on the boat, that was fun to just fight zombies on the boat.
Yeah. I'm sure many people noticed that we all used the tugboat, the journey there, and as well. It's worth mentioning that the scene where we retreat to the tugboat to escape, the scene where the boat, while we're on it, it literally tips to its side and then escapes. That scene was not, I repeat, not planned at all.
No. Colin actually fell off. I just edited that out.
I fell off and I thought, oh god, this is going to go horribly wrong as soon as the boat tips off completely. But we got away with it, and is that in that ending sequence of that episode, I was nowhere to be seen on the boat. That's because I was actually back in the water.
Colin fell off because he was lagging on his screen. He was still on it, and I'm like, dude, you fell off. He's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, oh shit, I am. So that was hilarious. Episode 10, I was really looking forward to filming. Because as it started off, I said, I don't know why I haven't explained the types of zombies yet, so I just decided to go ahead and do that. So basically, to start off the episode, I'm talking about all the types of zombies and everything, and showing flashbacks of the previous series about these types of zombies. And basically, a lot of this episode is, fighting again, but I really wanted to make it, like, more of a struggle, so we put, like, helicopters in and stuff fighting us, which is pretty awesome, and then the inside of the museum fight, which is really epic. And definitely my most favorite part of the series is the ending of it, But definitely my favorite part of the entire series was the ending of it, where it has Kurt's miraculous appearance again, which I really liked because a lot of people didn't see that coming. They're like, holy shit! But a lot of people didn't even know who that was. And they kept spelling his name wrong. Who's Kurt with the C? Who spells Kurt with the C? And they put an S at the end of the name, like, who's Certs? I said Kurt, damn it, K-U-R-T. Call me a damn video about this.
It was so annoying. A lot of what was planned in Series 2, towards the end of it anyway, a lot of the twists in the story, I already knew about because me and Josh brainstormed a lot of it as well, man. So I already knew of many of the twists and of Kurt's miraculous survival, as well as later characters' appearances.
And it was our idea to put that, the ending sequence after the credits, because me and Colin love shit after the credits. It's always an epic thing. So
That was just us two, wasn't it? I actually remember.
Yeah, just us two filming that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically pretty much it for Series 2, because the ending of it, people were like, holy shit, I need to see Series 3 and figure out what the hell happened, because we have this new character, we don't even know who he is yet. Some people do, and they were like, holy crap, how is this guy alive? So I knew for Series 3 I not only would have to figure out to explain who Kurt was again, but I also need to explain how the hell this asshole is alive. So stay tuned for this development of Series 3. Hope you enjoyed the development of Series 2 with commentators, me and Colin. Any final words for this one, Colin?
Carter was badass.
What? Wait, what? What'd you say?
I said Carter is badass. Hello.
I thought you said cock is badass.
No.
I was like, wait, what? Anyway, that's not really a good way to end the video, so I'll end it with this way. Thumbs this video up if Justin Bieber sucks. Alright, there you go. Be sure to subscribe, guys. Stay tuned for the Series 3 one. Peace!